I just want to talk about my book, The Cost and Money. Um, because I've set this book rather high. It's a high price compared to most other books, but I value it highly too. So for me, it's worth every penny. Now, for other people, nearly £100 is going to be extreme, It's not something most people are accustomed to paying. Um, but as I mentioned in a previous book, I've had a huge issue with the price of things lately, the value in it. We expect far too much for very little. And I think, where does that stem from? When you consider it, I mean, it's like Kristen said, everything's energy. So money is just energy. But I also think money is time, or at least it requires time. So how much of our time do we have to give to be able to acquire something? And when it comes to books and even music, it's very minimal. We don't have to give an awful lot to get it, but yet we feel so privileged and virtuous in that we should have it now. We should have it. We should just have it by default. Which definitely shouldn't require much for us to acquire it. And I think, like I said, where does it stem from? That's not natural. It's not normal. Obviously, at jobs, we all get paid varying amounts, but there's a minimum. There's a minimum wage, of course. And some people don't work at all, so they live off the benefit system, which is another thing entirely. So that's where I bring in time. It's not necessarily about the amount of energy we put in, although you would argue it is, because for some people, they put no energy in. It's going to take them longer to acquire the funds. Not necessarily the case. So time is a factor too. But people are happy to spend money in different directions and on things that are frivolous, things that are just meaningless. But they do pay for premium products. If you think about like Apple devices, even computers and the phones, at one point we was all looking, thinking these people are crazy, but of course we wanted it enough that we paid it. Dyson brought out like vacuum cleaners, and at the time that's crazy compared to all the other prices, but guess what? It's top of the range. It's the best thing, so I want to pay it because I want it. And then you feel like it's not necessarily that you feel great that you paid that amount, but you feel happy that you have these quality products in your home. But I think people should equally feel the same about like the books they have and the music they're listening to. I think they should respect it a lot more than has been the case. Like even Stephen King books, I think are ridiculously cheap. You buy one for £5, they should be a bare minimum £20. They're iconic. These are because if I write a novel, I'm going to charge a lot less than this because this is my soul, whereas a novel is just a bit of entertainment. So that's a bit different. But even entertainment has a value. So like I'm making a stand here and I'm saying this is the price I'm charging, and it's not going to be any less. And it's just up to people to finally match me. Because what it is, if I think about it enough, put a lot of my time and energy into this, into creating what I've created. And I'm saying if someone wants to read what I wrote, then they need to earn it. You need to earn the right to read that. You need to put in the time and energy yourself. Not to the same level, because that's took months and like many hours. But effectively, you have to put in a day's work or something. You need to put in some effort, and then you can have access to the book. But people don't want to do that. They don't even want to do an hour's work to have it. If you think about it, most people, what they get paid an hour, they don't even want to pay. They don't even want to work an hour to acquire something. They want it for even less than that. They want to work 15 minutes. They want to work half an hour, and then they feel that they deserve that. That's not enough. I deserve more for what I've created, and I stand by that. So when we tie numbers to energy, time, and effort, then it makes more sense. So it actually makes absolute sense to me, the price I've set the book. To be honest, even after I put this concept into motion in my mind, I thought, I could make it even more expensive. I mean, I'm probably not going to do that, but I have the right to do it because it's my product. And it's more setting the tone and setting the bar higher. I think if no one's going to do it, I'll do it. I'll stand by my work and I'll make a stand. Because people are expecting too much for nothing. And I think when you put in time and effort, you deserve something for it. And in the past, I would have felt maybe guilty. I certainly would have felt guilty because I feel it's not fair, but it's only because I didn't put into perspective what fair is. Is it fair that I lost vast amounts of time enjoying things, turned down overtime opportunities? So I've lost an incredible amount of time. So I've lost maybe joy and happiness in those times. I've lost because I didn't do the overtime. I've lost vast amounts of money. So I've sacrificed a lot of everything to create what I've created. But people are not prepared to sacrifice even a little bit, to have access to this. And like I say, that's people's prerogative, that's people's choices. It's not to say that anybody has to. But the point is, if you're going to read what I wrote, you're going to have to earn it. So if you're on a healing journey, on a spiritual journey, you want some self-development, some soul growth, I'll cover all of this. You know, I'll go through the starts to beginnings. You go through a spiritual journey. You go through self-healing, self-development. You go looking at lifestyle and society. It'll cover everything about life, from start to end. Even looking at the process of death and our mortality, and making peace with that, because it's inevitable for all of us. It's a guarantee. It's the one guarantee we do have. But you're gonna have to earn the right to read it. It's just that's just how that is. It's took me. I've sacrificed, so others will have to too, and that's only fair. It's the only video I'm really going to do on this subject. It wasn't even a video I was going to create, but I felt strongly enough that I risked being late for work, because it means something to me. And I think we have to start having a reality check and a better perspective on what we're doing and what we're trying to create, because it matters.